Hey everybody, you're listening to Modern Era Fitness Podcast, where we talk about health and safety in today's age. My name is Mike, I'm a personal trainer.
And I'm Caleb, a martial arts instructor. Welcome, everybody.
So how you doing, Caleb?
Oh, great.
Yeah?
I'm doing great.
What's new?
I got my costume.
Yeah?
Yeah. I got my costume in the mail. I'm a little excited about that.
Are you going to tell us what you're going to be, or are you just going to post it on Instagram? People are going to have to come see it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I think it's a little more fun that way.
I do too.
I'm going to be in my Halloween costume for classes on Friday night, and I told all the students that they can wear their costume if they want, as long as it's not a scary clown, because there's been a problem with scary clowns lately.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just gonna be fun. It's gonna be real fun. What are you gonna do?
What day is the 31st?
Monday.
It's a Monday?
Yeah.
So, the Saturday before that... No, I won't do that.
What were you thinking of doing?
Of having the Saturday before the Saturday boot camp.
Oh, boot camp, yeah.
Having it be scary boot camp.
Why not?
I don't have anything scary.
Well, all you have to do is change the name of an exercise. Like, you could call a kettlebell swing a skull swing or something. Like,
okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just make it fun. Make it fun.
So...
Zombie tag.
So the Saturday before Halloween...
Yeah, the 29th.
The 29th, for our 9 a.m. boot camp, we're going to have scary boot camp.
Scary boot camp.
And it's going to be fun.
And the Friday night before that, we're going to have scary martial arts. Boogity. And it's going to be fun. So if you're a student or a participant of boot camp or hoods, then get ready for some spooktacular fun. I hate it when people do that. When they use words in other words.
Yeah, and they just try to be clever.
Excellent.
And it just sounds terrible. Oh, stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, no more.
Yeah, it's lame.
So I do
like
have
using X for extreme.
Oh,
that's another pet
see,
peeve
that's
of
my
mine.
favorite. Extreme. So just a little bit of housekeeping, and I hate that word housekeeping because this is actually really exciting. Northwest Forge is...
You mean a heads up?
A heads up.
There we go.
Northwest Forge is now doing a 6 a.m. Did I tell you about this?
No.
No? Okay. So
this might be good for me to know.
Heads up, Caleb.
Considering I'm here sometimes.
Yeah, heads up, Caleb. Northwest Forge is doing a 6 a.m. boot camp.
Really?
6:30 a.m. boot camp. Northwest Forge is doing a 6 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. boot camp, Monday through Friday.
Every day?
Yeah. Well, Monday through Friday.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I haven't put out the anything yet.
Well, you are now.
I am now. So, what do you think? You want to come to that?
Yeah.
Okay, but seriously, you can still like work out and stuff, or we'll just be right here.
Why wouldn't I just do boot camp?
Because if you're trying to target specific things and you want to do strength training, or you can do boot camp.
Yeah, maybe I could get in like my weight training before that, because I'm usually here at 5:30ish.
So as it stands right now, Mondays are going to be strength training for boot camp. Tuesdays are going to be conditioning. Wednesdays is going to be stretching and myofascial release or foam rolling. Thursdays is going to be more strength training, and then Friday is going to be more conditioning. Strength, conditioning, stretch, strength, conditioning, weekend. You like it?
I do.
I'm excited about it. So that's coming up, and I'm really excited for it. I
imagine you'll put some details on northwestforge.org.
Yes. So if you want to know more, go there.
Yeah.
Like us on Facebook.
And when is this starting?
What's the date today? The 22nd.
22nd, yeah.
So the 24th.
Wow. Okay.
Why wow?
Well, I just didn't know.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about it. What else is going on around here? Lids for Kids. It's almost done.
It's the 31st, right?
Yeah, through the 31st. Lids for Kids. If you're a participant in either Mike's Northwest Forge or my Hood's MAA, Mike is championing this, but if you're a member of either group, come in and donate a bicycle helmet for a kid, elementary or toddler age, and Mike will see to it that it gets to, is it the police or the fire department that you're...
Local law enforcement, and they're going to distribute it to those that need helmets so they can ride without busting their heads open.
Yeah.
And we already got a few helmets already, and there's a big blue bin here. You can just dump your new helmet in.
Yeah, or even if you're not a participant of either of our programs, you can swing by and meet us and donate a helmet.
Yeah, that'd be really, really great for the community.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, while we're plugging, hoodsmaa.com. We have an online shop, and right now we're running a discount in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. If you go to our shop and use the code at checkout, it's FindACure20, all one word, all uppercase, you get 20% off, and half of the proceeds will go to the National Breast Cancer Foundation. And I made sure to do my research and make sure that they effectively use money and not just like bloated admin costs and only actually use a little bit for good. So you can look them up if you're concerned about that, but I did the research. So hoodsmaa.com, and then click on shop, and at checkout, FindACure20, all one word, all uppercase.
So what are we talking about today, Caleb?
So you may have heard that I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I only talk about it very rarely. But starting something new, you learn kind of what you're lacking in and what you need to build up. And so I was thinking it would be beneficial for me and probably a lot of people out there, because Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a pretty, I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's a pretty popular sport right now, thanks in large part to UFC. That was kind of its launching ground, so to speak, to the wide public, because its origination wasn't necessarily UFC, but that's where they were able to show it off, the effectiveness, because it was different arts against different arts, and you can kind of stack them up and see how they rate against each other. And it really kind of took hold then and dominated, and so it's a very, very popular martial art right now, or sport, depending on how you want to.
For good reason.
Yeah.
Very good reason.
It's excellent. And so I was thinking we could talk about maybe some exercises to help people out who might be doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or just want a new set of exercises to throw in the mix and get creative with it,
Yeah.
So here's something I noticed that we do a lot of in that class. A lot of bridging up, like a rear bridge kind of a situation. And if you're not sure what a rear bridge is, it's essentially being on your back, on your feet, and on your shoulders with your hips up in the air. So ideally you want the only points of contact on your body to be your shoulders and maybe your head and your feet. Everything else is kind of up.
Yeah, hips are pressed up.
Yeah. Aside from just doing that thing, what are some other exercises that we could do to kind of strengthen the same muscle group or that motion?
So the way I like to look at it is seeing what kind of kinetic chains that we're using with that. So that rear bridge, that's just a huge posterior chain movement. Okay. And to get stronger at that, I would do conventional, good old-fashioned deadlifts.
Deadlifts?
Yes.
Okay. Because that kind of works the hammies.
The hammies.
More than like
the glutes.
So like a back squat would be more of the front side of the legs, like the quads.
Correct.
Okay.
And the glutes. And
right.
The hams and the
I mean, they're all
in
there, but one targets more than the other.
So I would lean towards deadlifts if you want to, especially for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Mm-hmm. That's what I would do.
Okay.
Especially for that bridge, you're going to be stronger at your bridge if you incorporate deadlifts into your routine.
Okay. If we're starting out with deadlifts, what's a good way to start?
What's a good way to start with
deadlifts? Like sets, reps.
Oh, weight, yes. Yeah, kind of get down into the details. So if I wanted to build strength and be able to get somebody off me, is that kind of what we're looking towards?
Yeah, explosive power.
Then I would do, let's say,
not necessarily like a sustained,
four sets of 3.
Okay.
Or even 3 sets of 3.
So are you trying to push heavy, or
Yes.
Okay.
You're trying to push heavy, keeping your reps low, and making sure you're getting at least 90 seconds in between sets.
Okay.
So the danger there is warming up. So don't just go up, load the bar super heavy, and give it a good pull. Okay. Because you'll snap, something will snap or something will get pulled wrong. So make sure you warm up consistently and thoroughly. So not just 5 minutes on the elliptical, but do like 10. Yeah. Especially if you're going to lift that really heavy weight.
And stretch afterwards.
And do a little light stretching afterwards, after your warm up, and then go into it. So I mean light stretching. Don't stretch too hard. Don't hold it for more than 5 seconds.
I hadn't heard that.
Research has actually shown that doing some heavy stretching before lifting decreases your performance.
But what about after, though?
Oh, yes, totally. Yeah, after you're done with your entire workout, definitely stretch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I guess
and that's just as important as the warming up.
Okay.
And if you want to go that extra mile, well, actually, it's considered standard now. After your session, after your training or your lifting heavy, roll out with a foam roller, and that's just called myofascial release, and it's also been proven to really increase performance, range of motion, strength, more economy of motion.
Yeah, and
across the board.
If you're new to foam rolling, there's you can find tons of videos on YouTube and stuff. Yeah. Have you used Trigger Point?
Yes.
Okay, so that's something you can check out. I imagine their website probably has lots of tutorials and stuff.
There's lots of tutorials out there, and I think they're the best.
And I can speak from experience. It does help with flexibility quite a bit because it's like giving yourself a sports massage after you're done, but you don't have to pay somebody $60 an hour or whatever it is to do it. And it will help your circulation. It'll help prevent you from getting knots in your muscle, kind of those things that really impede recovery and flexibility. And if it's new to you, be patient with it. It might be kind of painful at first, but I promise you after a week of doing it consistently, we can have 2 weeks tops. It's going to feel real good. Yeah, and
it's something minimal that you can do. So you can do just 3 minutes a day after your training sessions.
Yeah. And
you'll see a significant improvement in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I try to incorporate it with the post-exercise stretch if I can get it in, so...
And I really prefer the actual Trigger Point foam rollers. They're a little more expensive, but they're really well made. I've been using the same one for years.
Yeah.
And I like them a lot.
Cool. And so deadlifts, okay. I was thinking about this. The rear bridge, like I said, is the actual move.
Yes.
Essentially, you're just pushing your hips up. Are those called thrusters? What is it called when you put weight in your hip and you do that, the rear bridge?
I call them barbell glute thrust.
Okay, glute thrust. What do I need to do to set up for that? Or is that ineffectual for...
It's effective. Definitely effective.
Okay.
I am partial to the deadlift because it's more full body. If you want to build sheer kind of raw power in your glutes, then definitely the barbell glute bridge is just fantastic. And actually, you can do this, let's say you have dumbbells at home, or even kettlebells for that matter. You can just hold, let's say, a dumbbell just right across your hips and do a bridge with that on your hips.
And do you recommend going for a sustained hold, or do you think like reps? Like up, down, kind of a thing?
I would do reps, and maybe once a week.
Do a marathon kind of a...
Not necessarily a marathon, but isometric hold. Like just have that weight and just hold it. Just like you were saying.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So let's say I had a 50-pound dumbbell. I would do 4 sets of 10. If that's too easy, then I would do more. But the point again, and just like I explained in previous podcasts, if you're not struggling and if it's just super easy, then you're wasting your time. You either need more weight or more reps or more sets. You need more of something. You need to push your body.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Deadlifts. Check.
Deadlifts. Barbell glute
thrusters.
Yep.
Ooh, here's one. So another movement that happens frequently is having to post up on your arms, either from your back or your stomach. Basically, you're trying to get your arms underneath you and sit up and push yourself up with one arm sometimes, while your other arm is engaged with your opponent.
So
it's like if you know what a Turkish get-up is.
You're on your back?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Well... If we're talking about me, mostly, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you think of a Turkish get-up, obviously I'm thinking that would be a super good exercise for this. But it's essentially a Turkish get-up, but with a human being instead of a weight in that free hand.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth. And that was one that I had in my mind but when we came up with the topic.
Okay.
So definitely Turkish get-ups.
Why is it? Did it really originate in Turkey?
No.
Why is it called a Turkish get-up?
To sell.
It just gives it some sort of
just
identity.
Like Bulgarian split squats and Russian twists. Sorry, guys. Sorry, everybody out there. The names of exercises, it's
really just to get it to stick in your mind.
Yep, that's it.
Huh. Because I guess what else would you just call it a get up?
Yeah.
I'm going to do 10 get-ups.
Yeah, they're called Turkish get-ups unless you're in Turkey.
Yeah. Then they're just called get-ups.
Get up. And that's how they get up.
Where's my kettlebell?
Yeah.
I can't get out of bed. Can you describe
with
words what a Turkish get-up is?
A Turkish get-up.
Complicated.
It's a way to get from lying on your back to standing up with a consistent load over your in one hand. That's all I can
overhead.
Really describe it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those ones a podcast can't really do it justice on how to do it.
We'll have a link to it.
Yeah, we'll find a good demonstration of it, or maybe we'll make one for you.
Yeah. There's a lot of bad ones out there. We'll make sure it's not bad.
Yeah. But I've noticed that having done Turkish get-ups before getting into jiu-jitsu and then doing the classes, it's almost identical, like the move you're doing. Frequently, and it seems like, why have I not been doing these more?
Yeah.
Because it's a direct relation. What else do you think
pretty much
a BJJ practitioner should know?
Anything core, and so like planks you can't do enough of, especially planks under a load. So if you do planks and you have somebody put a plate on your back, fantastic. Especially side planks, because you're gonna, just like you said, you're gonna use your core a lot with pushing somebody off you, and
from every angle. It's not just a straight plank, stomach down, or like you're twisting and turning all over the place.
Exactly. So yeah, everything core.
Deadlifts. Speaking of deadlifts and the rear chain, like the hamstrings and everything, I found that those are used quite a bit in a lot of sweeps and hooking your opponent with your legs and stuff like that. So I could see that coming into play for that.
Yeah.
What do you think about hamstring curls? Are those dumb?
No, they're not dumb, but it's that's not isometric. What am I thinking? That's a simple movement that's going to focus on one specific muscle. And it's gonna move a little bit into your glutes a little bit for that exercise. But if you want to be efficient,
you're thinking more functional than.
I'm thinking efficient and using your time wisely. So if you had to pick between the hamstring curl and the deadlift,
I see what you're saying.
Do the deadlift.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But you'll be doing a lot better for yourself doing the deadlift than hamstring curls.
If you had to pick one, yeah. Okay. But if you have 3 hours to work out in the gym, you can do.
If you have 3 hours to work out in the gym, then, and if you're very well seasoned, and if your fitness level is really up there, then yeah, hamstring curls after deadlifts.
Okay. Core. Okay, planks. What else? You said put plates on the back or whatever for planks.
For planks, yeah. Another one that I like is actually hanging leg raises, because those are really hard to beat.
So it's like you're going to do a pull-up.
Yeah, but instead of pulling up, you just either tuck your knees up to your chest or try to as far as you can. Mm-hmm. And once you can do 30 of those in a row and it's just no sweat, then start doing legs straight and picking up your toes.
Yeah. I like that, because that also, doing the hang will help improve the grip strength.
Yeah, your grip, and it is actually going to help your overall, your biceps, your shoulders, your back. Yeah. Just hanging there is going to help you a lot.
Because if you were to just dead hang, no muscles at all whatsoever, that would put stress on your joints and everything. Yeah. So your muscles are going to naturally engage a little bit around those.
Yes.
To keep the structure.
Bingo.
And so it might seem like a minimal engagement, but you're still working it.
You're working good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
Going back to Joey's episode, and we were talking about grip strength.
Yeah.
Grip strength is a big thing. I was trying to think of some more exercises, and actually I got a message from Nick Lemire, another martial arts instructor who does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, who got his purple belt.
Good for him.
Not too long ago. And if you know anything about how long it takes to get a belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that's no small feat by any means. He said, what did he say? There's something about sleeves, like your own sleeves, just kind of grabbing and pulling on your own sleeves. Obviously, if it's not a shirt that tears away easily, like your jacket or something, you can just pinch and pull. And I was thinking, if you have a rag, or if you have a martial arts belt that you weren't awarded, if you cut that up into small pieces, like I'd say maybe 6 inches to a foot long, and just do a tug of war either with yourself, hand to hand, with that belt, or if you have a buddy like you and I, we could do a little tug of war with just the hand, on the belt piece, because it gives you something very small that you have to put a maximum amount of grip on.
Yeah.
And you've got a pulling pressure that you have to fight against and pull towards you. So it's basically doing what you would do. You know what I mean? Like you've said before, you want to get good at X, do X.
Yes.
And I feel like that's kind of in the same vein. And same with what Sifu Nick was saying about the sleeves, yanking on sleeves and stuff.
In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, is there a lot of holds on limbs and things like that?
Yeah, limbs and throats and ankles and knees. And
so it's not all just...
Not just gi, yeah.
Grabbing on
actual
clothing.
Body parts.
So another thing you could do then is they make these add-ons for bars, like dumbbells and barbells, and they're just these plastic pieces that they slip over where you grip. And all it does is it takes that bar from whatever circumference it is, and it just blows it up. So instead of the bar being, 1 inch...
comfortable to grab onto.
1 inch diameter, it's now 2.5 inches or 2 inches or 3 inches. And so instead of gripping something that's, super tiny, it's like you're grabbing onto somebody's wrist. And it's still, a 30-pound dumbbell or whatever.
I like it.
Yeah, and it really changes things up. Both for your grip and for... how
the exercise
itself. yeah, it changes it up big time.
Ooh.
So that's actually something that I think we should get in here.
Yeah, that seems like a
a
no-brainer for us.
And so it would fit on our pull-up bar too.
Okay.
And so trying to hang on to that, and it's like this big around.
We'll talk during the break, and maybe you can tell me where I can find some.
Okay.
Well, let's take a break and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Are you a fan of the paranormal, UFOs, conspiracies, or cryptids? Do you like being entertained? Then I recommend the 45th Parallel Podcast. You can find it on iTunes, your Android podcast app of choice, or Stitcher Radio. Just type in the 45th Parallel and start listening. Make sure to subscribe and rate our show so we can climb the charts and get our paranormal message out there. We hope to see you in the 45th Parallel.
Hey everybody, this is Mike at Northwest Forge. Don't have time to go to the gym? Want your personal trainer to come to you? Northwest Forge now offers online training. Check us out at northwestforge.org. Stay motivated.
Hey everybody, it's Sifu Caleb from Hood's Martial Arts Academy. If you're interested in self-defense or martial arts program, you should check us out. You can find information at hoodsmaa.com. Well, thanks for that information, Mike. We're back talking on Modern Era Fitness Podcast with me, Caleb, martial arts instructor, and good buddy
Mike,
personal trainer extraordinaire. Today we're talking about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and exercises to help you improve your game, your skill set.
So
we've talked about legs, or specifically hamstring strength for posting those hips up to pitch somebody off.
I want to clarify though.
Okay.
So instead of just hamstrings, the deadlift is.
I keep saying hamstrings.
Posterior chain.
Yeah,
it's gonna do a lot for you all over your body.
I'm very much a one-trick pony, like one-track mind.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna keep saying hamstrings, just so you know.
Okay.
Just know that I understand that we're talking about a lot more than hamstrings. Core. We talked about planks and weighted planks, and there was something else.
Barbell glute bridge.
Barbell
glute thrust.
Bridge, yeah. And the grip strength stuff, the tug of war with the small like dish rag or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Something you don't care about, obviously, or playing with your sleeves, hangs.
Barbell slip-ons. That's not what they're called.
For when it needs to get up and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
No, what is that? The hanging bar, the pull-up bar. Yeah, that's what I meant. The pull-up bar slip-ons.
Yeah.
Yeah, to kind of make it more difficult to grip.
I know what they are, but I don't know what they're called.
Grip ruiners. We'll call them that.
Circumference increasers.
Yeah. I could use one of those.
Edit.
Yeah, so those are all great things. So I wanted to go back to the leg thing because I was thinking about it during our break, that it's not just that posterior chain, hamstring stuff that we use, but also there are times when you're trying to work a sweep or trying to work somebody off of you that you need a pushing motion with your legs, almost like a squat, but you're on your back or something like that. So aside from a squat, what are some other good ones that you could do? Does that movement make sense, what I'm telling you?
So you're on your back.
It's almost like
somebody's
you're
on top of you.
Straight or doing a bicycle pedal.
Oh, totally squats, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of the super exercise.
Well, deadlifts. Deadlifts are totally
Still?
exercise. Yeah, because what you just did there, like you're using a lot of your glute and ham and quad for that matter, and you're using a lot of your core. So I really, really think that deadlifts are, if you could do one exercise for your BJJ career, it would be deadlifts. Besides conditioning.
Yeah. Yeah, conditioning, that's another big one. You remember Joey, he mentioned, he brought it up, the gassing out.
Yeah.
The cardio tap or whatever.
Yeah.
Where you basically have to call it quits just because you're worn out.
You got nothing left. Yeah.
That's something you don't want to happen.
To anybody out there that hasn't rolled before, how can you describe the intensity and just how quickly you gas? How quickly you run empty?
Yeah, so if you think about the energy it takes to do an exercise, like let's say a crunch, okay, and you get breaks in between crunches. Technically, I mean, there's a brief moment of relief before you engage the muscle again, right?
Yeah.
So imagine doing 1,000 crunches, but not getting a break, and that being extrapolated to the whole body. So your whole body is oftentimes engaged 100% of the time. Like you're crunched up, you're curling with your arms, you're pushing out with your legs, you're essentially engaging all parts of your body for a full match, it seems like, because things are shifting so frequently. So you have to be kind of in this already engaged state and still be ready to explode above that. So it's like you're resisting somebody's full pressure or full strength. And so you're resisting against that. And then you got to find enough gas in the tank, enough strength to then explode outside of that.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard. Oh, but it's fun. And, I always feel a lot fitter after a class.
Yeah.
Just because you feel good and tight.
Yeah. Sweat about a gallon.
Yeah. Yeah. You lose a lot of water weight, that's for sure. And it's usually on somebody else.
Yep.
Which is kind of gross.
Yeah.
But it's part of the game. And again, remember this is all coming from white belt. I'm sure, if you were to ask a blue belt, purple belt, brown belt, black belt, they'd probably say there are chances that you get to relax or you need to yield and things like that, kind of like we do in Tai Chi and stuff. I'm just always on high gear because I'm learning and I'm just trying to not get choked out, so I'm constantly on high alert, high stress.
Thank you.
Did that answer your question?
It did.
Okay.
It took me back.
I
liked it.
To your wrestling days, or
wrestling, and then the martial arts instructing. That was a blast, man.
What is it making you think of?
Well,
or just in general.
Ground fighting is so fun to practice. I think because like Eddie was saying, you're not getting punched in the nose.
Yeah.
Well, typically.
Yeah.
And it's something that you can sustainably train in without breaking bones and things.
As long
stuff
as you
like
have
that.
responsible partners, yeah.
Yeah. So if you have good training partners and a good curriculum and a good teacher, then you can just train all day. And so that's what we did back in the day.
Nice. Get super fit.
Yeah, very, very fit.
That's cool.
It's like boot camp times 3.
Yeah.
But it was all only in I think a 3-week period.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fun. Yeah.
You talk about steep learning curves.
Yeah.
That sounds like it.
But that was the funnest time I've ever had.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what's keeping you from signing up?
Time. That's it. That's
Yeah.
the only thing.
It does. It's like, that's why I can't do boot camps on Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
So if you couldn't do boot camps, then nobody could do boot camps.
And that would be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to do that. And I think that maybe I will in the future.
Cool.
But I think it would be like, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 11 a.m. or something odd. I thought of another good exercise that I can't believe that I forgot. Clean and press.
Why? Okay, describe clean and press.
So
I know what it is because I like that one, but
the barbell clean, if you're familiar with deadlift, well, then you're probably familiar with this. But anyway, so the clean is like a deadlift, only it's explosive. So instead of just
like chances are you're going to go down and weight a little bit.
You're going to go down and weight, and instead of just standing up with the weight and still have the weight at your hip level, arm straight, instead of that, you're going to be, let's say, half the weight, and you're going to forcefully pull up, and using your legs, glutes, chest, shoulders, arms, everything you got, you're going to get that bar moving up as hard as you can.
To your collarbone, right?
To your collarbone, yeah. And then you're going to catch it and squat under it. Squat under it to catch it, and put your elbows as far forward as you can under that bar. And essentially front squat it up.
And there's a press, too, a shoulder press.
Once you're up, then you can do a press overhead. So the press overhead, if you're pushing your limits, you're going to have to squat down just a little bit again.
Mm.
And then heave that thing up as hard as you can while pressing with your shoulders, arms, chest.
Cool. Yeah, we'll find a video for that too.
Yeah.
And I should mention this. We probably should have said this at the top of the episode, but folks, if you try any of this, it's at your own risk. We're not there to watch you, so don't come whining to us and suing us if you injure yourself. Okay?
Yeah.
We're all adults here. Okay.
So
I just had to put that out there.
Good call. Good idea. But yeah, there's so much power involved, and it's a great way to develop actual true power, the clean and press, especially the clean in and of itself.
Just because of how intensely explosive it is?
How explosive it is, and how much sheer grip that you have to have. So that directly pertains to what you're talking about grip.
Yeah.
And it's an explosive movement, like on command. Mm-hmm. And so that's something that you can also train, is not just strength, but explosiveness or power. And that's something that you can apply if you're starting, like, let's say, a match with somebody and you're both upright, but you're both starting to tie up, and then it's like, boom, you got to make an explosive movement and, let's say, shoot in or for their legs. And if you don't know what that is, then sorry.
You're probably not doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You're just hearing about exercises.
Yeah. So, or if somebody shoots in on you and you got to
sprawl
same
out.
thing, you got to sprawl out quickly, and you got to do your thing with explosive power, not just slowly pushing them off you.
Yeah.
But it's going to be quick, and it's going to be fast, and it's going to be mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, power cleans.
Cool. I was thinking back to the core stuff. It seems like things like leg lifts, because you're constantly trying to get your legs up and over something, like around somebody's neck or on their shoulder or around their face or something like that. So it seems like focusing a lot on the core would be a wise endeavor, like leg lifts or the V crunches, and Russian twists and things like that. Again, Russian twist.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It's just a twist.
Yeah. In Russia, it's just a twist.
Yeah. In Russia, we call it... Yeah.
We call it twist.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry too much about the rotational aspect.
Well, I would. Because you're constantly doing that. Like, you'll be laying in some weird position and need to do some sort of oblique crunch.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like that torsional workout of a twist.
Let me rephrase it. I wouldn't worry about it more than 25% of your total core workout.
Okay. Like, it's not one that needs to make that 20% cut of the 80-20. The burrito principle.
Correct.
Okay.
If you're doing 3 workouts only ever for core, don't do Russian twists.
It would be planks.
And what else? Planks. I really am a big fan of those hanging leg raises.
Okay.
Huge fan, especially for anything ground fighting.
Okay. And that would take care of the leg raises. I was thinking of a reclined leg raise because we're always trying to fling our legs. But if you're doing the hanging one, that covers that pretty darn well.
It does, yeah. And especially with the hanging ones, you get it's a little more difficult at the top.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're good at the hanging leg raises, you're going to be really good at the laying down leg raises.
Yeah. Cool. Oh yeah, and Turkish get-up. We forgot to mention that one in the recap.
Oh yeah,
Turkish
get-ups,
or just to get up.
Those are really great for working on all those little tiny muscles that you got to have ready.
Yeah.
I do those at least once a week. If you're pushing your BJJ, Turkish get-ups once a week at least.
Okay. It seemed like there's something else. Squeezing legs.
Squeezing
Yeah, like Suzanne Summers Thigh Master.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Is that? I mean, you just do that.
That's such a small muscle group. Really small.
But it's really important, and
if it's really important, then yeah, by all means, train that.
Okay. But because that's such a bizarre muscle group, and it doesn't feel like necessarily like it's a focus on deadlifts or squats or anything like that.
Right.
I mean, I feel a little bit in squats because I'm trying to make sure my legs don't blow out.
Right. Yeah.
From the hips or something. So I'm kind of got this inward rotation on my thighs that I'm thinking about for me, but I imagine not everybody's hip and muscle structure is the same as mine. They might not feel that, but
well, the way our legs are kind of designed is to carry us forward.
Yeah, forward and back is kind of the main.
That's really it.
Yeah.
So the in and out movement is going to be super minimal. But if you can strengthen that by doing these. What are they called?
Pinch.
Thigh squeezies.
Thigh pinchies.
We're scientific.
Yeah. And I think just gripping on, this sounds funny, but if you have like a soccer ball or a football or
significant other,
and you just hold it.
Yeah.
Or one of those giant yoga balls, like the Pilates things. Pinching that between, that seems like it would be, because it's wide enough that it's awkward.
Yeah.
And you really have to work specifically to keep that in between.
Yeah, you could really do anything. You could do slam balls. You could do. I'm looking around.
Meaning
trash
pinching.
cans. Yeah.
Pinching. Yeah.
Jugs of water.
Kids' bicycle helmets.
Computers. Tires.
Cell phones.
No.
That'd be really difficult.
It would be.
It's a really tight squeeze.
I could do it with my knees.
Yeah.
We're getting off topic.
Oh, kinda.
Punching dummies.
Maybe we'll do another episode and specifically talk about conditioning. We've done how to prepare for an athletic event or a fight, like a sanctioned fight. So the conditioning, is.
We can also revisit those because we got a lot more listeners now.
Yeah.
Like I wonder how many people listen to the How to Prepare for a Fight one.
That's true, since it was so early in the catalog.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll talk about that again here as it relates to other things like BJJ.
What's going on in the tech world there, Caleb? Did you hear about?
I want to have some nerd theme music to play like right here.
Yeah.
So if I have time to do that this week, I'll throw that in right there. If not, you just got a couple seconds of silence.
Did you hear about the internet going down yesterday?
Did I hear about it? Yeah.
Heck, you were there.
Yeah. A DDoS attack. So yeah, that sucked. More importantly, if we're talking nerd stuff, the European Space Agency had a mission to Mars, and they have a satellite, which was the main purpose of the mission, an orbiter around Mars. And they had a secondary one to try to get this new kind of technology that they're using to try to land something on Mars. Did you hear about this?
No.
Okay.
I'm not a nerd. Just kidding. I'm really engrossed in what you're
nice
saying.
try. We all know, Mike.
Yeah.
And so they had the secondary mission to test this landing technology, and then they had a bunch of science that they would have done had it been successful.
Oh.
Yeah, but about a minute before it was supposed to actually make contact on the surface, something went haywire. I think they said that the chutes opened too early and burned up, and so the thrusters engaged earlier because it didn't have the chutes, and so the thrusters ran out of juice before it landed, and so it made a pretty solid impact.
Big smash.
Yeah, and so we're mourning the loss of that this year at Pele.
That sucks.
Yeah, but there's lots of data to be gleaned from that.
Yeah,
it'll be useful still, even though it didn't succeed.
It's an expensive learning.
It's still a success because it's not a mistake. It's an opportunity to learn.
Yes,
and work towards a solution. So you'll get them next time, Europe. That's my nerd alert for this week.
I like it. Yeah, we do really need like an intro music and play it again.
I feel like it's becoming a regular enough.
Let people know we're done.
And that was your weekly nerd alert. So yeah, thanks for chatting, Mike.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, folks.
It's been fun.
Yeah. You can find us all the usual places. Dockside bars. We've got a website.
Laser tag sites.
We've got local D&D meetups.
If you didn't hear, we have a new
I was trying to say it. A new website.
There you go.
Yeah, we've got a new website, modernerafitness.com. And so you can get in contact with us through there. We've got a contact page, or you can mail us at modernerafitnesspodcast@gmail.com. Or you've got other ways, I believe, Mike.
We're on Instagram and Twitter at MEF Podcast.
Yeah.
Get at us.
Yeah.
And if you want to support the show, all we ask is $1 a month. That's next to nothing.
$12 a year. That really is nothing.
Yeah, that is nothing. And if you get anything out of the podcast, we'd really appreciate it, and it would help us pay for this equipment.
Yeah. And another thing that would help the podcast out quite a bit is if you give us a share and or a review on whatever platform you're listening on. It helps other people see the podcast. It gets put in front of other people's eyes if we get some reviews. So
we would rather have that than the $1 a month.
Yeah, I would agree with that wholeheartedly. And yeah, so like iTunes, Stitcher, whatever. You can find links to all that stuff on the website, modernerafitness.com.
And last but not least, we want to just reiterate this is a show for you guys. If you guys got any fitness or nutrition or safety, martial arts questions, send them our way, and that's why we exist.
Yep.
Thanks a lot.
We're here for you guys. Just remember, we always want you to live in a good place, keep your mind deep, and work when it's time.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. You're listening to Modern
Tuning in?
Tuning in. Yeah, this is a radio show.